All right, so I was playing here with the Infinite Mac, and one of the features that I think we should add to the OS 8088 operating system is the ability to resize windows like this. And only some windows should get resizing. For example, like the Mac OS doesn't resize. It doesn't resize the calculator, at least for this early version. The clock doesn't resize. So only some windows will get the resizing mechanism. So I thought, okay, let's do that. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I'm setting the stage to be able to um, port over the artful type, the application that Action Retro um, vibe coded on his on his video over here, and I want to see if I can port this application over to my operating system. So I'm going to give that a shot. And but first, I want to add the window resizing because I want to also be able to add full screen support. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to switch over to Opus over here, and I am going to set up the ask it to. I want you to add the functionality to resize windows um, and scroll the contents of folders. Right now, only some windows should be resizable. For example, I do not expect the Minesweeper windows or control panels to be resizable. I do expect the disk windows to be resizable and also to be scrollable. You can add, you can fill in the gaps as you see fit to add scrolling and resizing of windows to the operating system. There will also be applications that will require full screen support. Might as well add the foundations for that in the SDK. Where it belongs. While we're here, you should turn the disk browsing window into a to support list view like it does today, and also icons, the icon view. The window, this is the foundation of the file manager integration. Oops, almost lost it. I think I'm gonna ultra code proper file management and file management UI. Extend the disk window. Perhaps use the disk content viewer as the foundation. All right, as a starting point. Okay, let's give it this, and I want to see how far we go. Let me actually copy and paste this so that I don't lose it. And I want to switch to Fable. Which is much better for this type of okay. All right, so I'm gonna let this run. This is probably gonna take quite a while, but I think when we're done, we're gonna have a file manager built into the kernel. And I think that's going to be good. This is a major feature, window resizing, folder scrolling, full screen foundations in the SDK, and I can list view for the disk browser, all inside a tidy budget. I'll scout the repo briefly, run and understand workflow, run the design interfaces. Okay. All right. All right. This is good. This is good. I think we should be. I think maybe next we'll add file system operations. Once we have this foundation set, we'll work on adding file system operations where we can create folders on those floppies and and start saving some documentation from the notepad. Maybe that'll be like we'll port over. We'll do this where we will um, add file system operations and then port the artful type so that we can then save and load files using that application. I think that'll be kind of cool. All right, let me pause this right here, and then we'll pick up when this is done. All right, so we're back here. It took 56 minutes to run through this, and let's see, it built out the entire window resizing logic. So what we have to do now is let's test it out. So let's run makext, which will boot up the virtual machine. Let me move it into view here. All right. Okay, and it's loading now. All right, so we are in, and the way that we're going to try this is we're going to go to the disk, and now we have scroll bars. We have scroll bars. We have resizing windows. Nice. Let me see if I resize it like this. Now we can scroll through it. We go like this. We have an icon view. All right, that's good. Can I move them around? No, I can't move them. I didn't ask for that. But if I do this, does it reuse? Oh yeah. Look, they reorganize themselves. So it's smart. All right, so that's good. Now, what else? Control panel. That has no resizing as expected. About, no resizing. Task manager, that should not resize. Okay, good. And clock. Bounce. Disk does resize. All right, B. So if I click and double click on mines, it loads the game. Disk A. There's no disk in disk A. Oh, that's interesting. So the disk viewer is a single app. That's not a true file manager, is it? If I go to disk, it only has one, right? Yeah. All right, let me open one notepad. The notepad, that's one that I expected to resize, so I may have to do that. All right, let me tell it that I want the notepad to have resize. I want the notepad to have the ability be resizable. Notepad window to be resizable. All right, so we'll do that, and that's it. By the time you see this video, this code will be released on os8088.com, and you will be able to play with it on the web page. And next up is going to be porting over the Action Retro app to this operating system to see how that works out. All right, so stay tuned for that, and till next time. Bye bye.